All right, peace, y'all. How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? It is a Friday evening, and we're working on a Friday evening. I don't know what you are doing. Hope you had a good week, especially for my TGIFers. Thank God it's Friday, people. For me, just another day to be better, another day to improve, another day to move the needle. It's been a really, really good week. We really had some time to step off the gas a little bit. A lot of times you may hear me talking about stepping on the gas, but in business and in life, burnout is a real thing. So keeping your foot on the gas is one way that can lead to burnout and really, really fast. So we had some time to take a little step back. Clearly not a huge step back because there's still no days off. It's 7 days a week over here. But when I say take a little break or step off the gas a little bit, we didn't have to go as hard as we was going when we was promoting our 3-day challenge or we had an event going on, meaning that I didn't have to do 2 and 3 lives a day, 2 and 3 posts a day, take phone calls and respond to messages and do my own personal business. Hasn't been that. So we took some time off from going live. I believe I went live in my private community at least 3 times. That's mandatory. That's just on the schedule as usual. That's what we do. But on a public platform, I had took a break from you, and I needed it. I still need it, but I have to do what I got to do. Like I don't want to take too long of a break. And when you lose the attention of people, you lose them. And I don't want to lose what we have built. And I'm hope this resonates with somebody because when you have momentum, momentum is a funny thing. You have to keep momentum. You have to keep pouring into momentum. The worst thing you can do is let your momentum stop because now you would have to start all over. And restarting is a hard thing to do. All right. And we didn't come this far to lose any steam or any emotion. Although I know that you're with me. I know you're not going anywhere, but that's just how we should be viewing this. And this is how we should be thinking. All right. I don't have a particular topic tonight. It's just for me, I'm probably just give a recap of what we've been up to. If you have any questions about anything, it's a great time to ask questions. That's why I put in the comments. Drop your questions here. If you have any thoughts, concerns, or questions about anything, it's a great time to ask them now. All right. Yeah, he said paper subdivision. I learned a lot. We can start there. Let's talk about paper subdivision. What is a paper subdivision? A paper subdivision is exactly what it says it is. It is a subdivision that is legally approved by the county to be broken down into smaller lots. Let me explain exactly what a paper subdivision is. So if we have, let's say we have, I'll take a 10 acre. Let's have a 10 acre piece of land. It's a whole piece. It's just one parcel, one piece of land, and it's 10 acres. 10 acres is roughly 10 football fields. Now, to force appreciation, which means to get max dollar out of this 10 acre or this 10 acre acquisition, we do something called subdividing, meaning that we'll break the lot up into smaller lots. All right, we're breaking up to smaller lots, and that'll allow us, especially when we're looking to sell to a builder, or if we're looking to build ourselves, it'll allow us to put multiple houses on the amount of lots that's allocated to that once it's subdivided. You have to check with zoning, and zoning will let you know the minimum requirements of the lot sizes. Now, unless you're outside of the city limits, y'all may hear me talk about this often. Inside of the city limits, outside of the city limits. Inside of the city limits, regulations, rules. You must abide by the regulations, rules, the governing body. Outside of the city limits, you do whatever you want to do. If you want to subdivide your land outside of the city limits or outside of the county lines, do whatever you want. You got 10 acres, you can break them down into acres. You can have 10 lots. You can break them down into half acres. That'll give you 20 lots. You can break them down into quarter acres. That'll give you 4 lots per acre. Do the math, right? So that's a paper subdivision, and you can get that approved on paper. This has to go before a surveyor, a professional, an engineer. They'll draft it on paper. You take it to the county. County will approve it or not. and that's a paper subdivision. And you can sell land off a paper subdivision. That's a real thing. You can sell it without it being physically the homes being there, because you can't, like you see these things all the time, but people don't really pay attention to them. Like when they subdivide properties, you'll see poles out there. I mean, you may see orange flags out there. Those are indications that these are the meets and these are the bounds of this lot, or where it ends or where it starts at, and things like that. So that's what a paper subdivision is. It is a real thing. Now this is deeper land investing. This is not like beginner land investing. I don't advise new people to start dealing with subdividing and breaking down and getting into paper subdivision. This is for more experienced investors. Get there, do the beginning thing, get the foundation down first. Then, if we want to start to move into subdividing land, breaking it down in paper subdivisions, then graduate to that. New people, just stay, I would say, trust me, I would say stay in your lane with that. And as you progress, then you can move on to start doing things like paper subdivisions and things like that. But that was a great one. I think Jay did a video on the paper subdivision. That is a really, really great way to force appreciation, but usually it's more experienced people that's dealing with that. So this week, I did put a post out today, which was about something that happened last night. So, we've been running our challenges, and with our challenges, we've been bringing in a group of new investors. Each challenge, there's been a group, the graduating class, that we've been training for exclusively for 6 weeks. And one young lady, I hope everyone that comes in win. That's just me. That my attitude is I want everybody to win. But unfortunately, I can't make people win. I can't make people move. I can't make them get it. I always can tell who I think is going to win. And I can never be 100% guaranteed with that. But there are indicators, because we've been doing this a while. I can just tell the ones that always show up, the ones that's always participating, asking questions, those usually are the people that end up doing okay, or doing well, and having testimonials. So I had this young lady, and she's, I believe she's in her 20s, and she opted into our program, and she shows up to everything. I won't say her name. If she's on live, she'll know who I'm talking about, but she shows up to everything. And how I know she's hungry, because she shows up to all the training calls, and every time that she shows up, she has her child. She has a small child. She has a child sitting on her lap. And that says to me, like, look, I have to do what I got to do to get what I got to get. If the child have to sit here and he have to hear, and she stays on the call, sometimes we're in there for 2 hours, and she stays on the call, even with the child on the lap. Sometimes she's moving around, mothers multitask, women multitask, right? So she's doing whatever she has to do. And in the back of my mind, I never say nothing, because it's not my business, but I do have eyes to observe, and I respect it. I respect it, because on your come up, it's never perfect. It's not easy. When you're coming up, it's going to be one of the hardest things. And if you had that figured out, then, you wouldn't be in the position that you were in. So do what you have to do. See, a lot of people make excuses. A lot of people say, well, I can't attend the training because I got the baby. But here she is right now, baby on lap, still taking notes. So back in my mind and off camera, we talk, me and my team, we talk. I said, I think she's going to be somebody. I think she's going to be a winner. So she's in this graduating class, and it was, we've been offering 2 touch points a week. Graduating class, we've been doing a specialized training for them. And then we have our regular trainings, which is every Wednesday. So she's been showing up to every training with the baby. And last night was her graduating class, last training. So I tied everything together. Here's what we learned. We set your business up. Here's what you do. Here's how we tax deed investing. Here's how we go direct to owner. Here's how we find bigger deals. We even did examples of phone calls. Here's what you could expect once you start to put your offers out, looking for larger acreage, how you should conduct yourself on the phone, everything. We covered everything to make sure they can get or leave us and go off and be successful. So she said, while we're on the call, do you mind if we look at a property that I found from a tax sale auction? Sure. This is what we're here for. We're here to help. Sure. So bring it. Let's look at it. So we look at it, and I think I have it on. Do I have it? I think I have it on my desktop, and I'll show it to you. Let's look at it.
It is $789.
This is just going to boil down to the money. I don't know if it's get better than this though.
Damn,
I'm just being honest with you. I've been doing this a long time.
For real.
If for $789, you don't get communities that look like this. Put it this way, you don't lose money on this deal. No way. Yeah, I'm comfortable with listing at 7.9.
Yeah, for sure. I like that. And even if somebody comes and sees your 7.9, listen, I'll take it off your hands for $6,500. Take the money. Yep.
So that was just a quick video that I had edited out so I could post it on the social media. But that is what happened. We reviewed the lot, and the lot, I knew the area, right? And I know the list. I just don't do a lot of tax deed investing myself these days, because more so these days with teaching. And when I am doing deals, I'm doing bigger deals. And I'll play another video and explain a bigger deal that I'm working. But proud of her. It was a smaller deal, but nevertheless, it's her first deal. It's something that she went out and found she was unsure of. She don't have the trained eyes that I have. So she said, is this a deal or not? And when I looked at it, yes, it's a $780 lot that sits on a block where houses are going for $350,000, and it's clean. It's a tax deed coming from a tax auction. The neighborhood is clean. Walgreens around the corner. It's not going to get any better for $780. Typically, when we find in lots for $780, it's in rough areas. Just I tell y'all, I'm just transparent with it. I'm not here to pull your leg, because common sense should tell you that if you're paying $780 for a lot, it may not be in the best neighborhood. That's just a fact. But even those neighborhoods sell if you find the right ones. Now, if you find a shit neighborhood and there's no traffic or no motion, nothing for sale or nothing selling, jumping off the rack, then leave it. But if you find those kind of prices and there's movement, then buy it. But in this case, clean neighborhood. How do we know when neighborhoods are clean? Evaluate and look at how they keep their lawn, how they manicure the bushes and all of those things. Those are clean neighborhoods. Those are neighborhoods that someone desires to buy vacant land in. So 780, I go pull comps on it, right? Comps are comparables telling us know if it's a good buy and what things are selling for in the area. And sure enough, that same size lot selling from anywhere from 5,000 through 10,000. So I told her you should have no problem selling for anywhere between 6,000 and 7,000. And she shouldn't. Drop it in the comments, though. If you pay $780 for it, right? What's the bottom line number that you're willing to accept? Because I know how new people think. If I say $7,000, I got one guy. I told him a price that I think his lot should sell at. Now, mind you, he bought the lot for $800. I told him I think the lot should sell around $4,500, right? Someone made him an offer of $2,000 and he wouldn't take it. And I said, you're viewing this the wrong way, right? You pay $800. $2,000 is more than a flip on your money. You take your money and you move on and you find another lot, right? We don't be greedy on these things. These are, and then again, let me say this. That's my opinion. I can't tell people what to do with something that they own. Although I taught them how to go out and find it, you don't have to invest how I invest. I like speed. And it's anytime, rule over thumb for me is anytime that I'm doubling my money, if it's just a complete flip, I take it. 2 minutes, Ace. I'll call you back. I'm on the live. All right. So if I'm flipping my money, am I wrong? Talk to me. Am I wrong? Are you satisfied if you can get a flip? Clearly, if we can get more, then we'll take more. Everybody's happy with making more. But if it's a flip, think about how money moves. You don't put money in a bank and then less than 3 months, it flips over for you. So this is what I said. Sometimes, we don't be thinking the right way. This is still investing. It's only thing different is that we're using land as the investment vehicle, but the principles of money are still the same. If you can flip your money especially in a reasonable, what I like about what we do is because it allows us to do things in a reasonable amount of time. Most of the time when we find in deals that have or depict that we could sell within a 6-month time frame. You find a good piece of land, typically it sells itself. The land sells itself. Sure, we have to do certain things to position it to sell itself, like there have to be good images, right? People respond to good images, high quality images, have to be a good write-up on it. You have to place it in the right places for it to get seen, for it to sell. But it's not like a house where we have to get it ready and it has to be all pretty and all of those things. And I'm not frowning on houses because houses sell, we all know that houses sell just as well. But I'm saying that in comparison, I don't have to do as much when I come across land. And to that point, another deal that I'm working, I'll let you hear this deal. Let me move this one. Here's another one that I'm working. I'm working a 20-acre that came in 3 days ago, 20-acre for $53,000. Now, all deals are not always spelt out and perfect, right? It's not always perfect when we're dealing with it. And this one right here has some challenges. And most people wouldn't know how to handle the challenges. So this deal, I don't have the image to show you, but I'll explain it to you. So this particular 20-acre piece, it has a road. Just follow. It has a road that runs straight up to my 20-acre. The road is labeled 4th Avenue. On the 4th Avenue, there's a home to the right, there's a home to the left. Most people would think that that's a usable road. I know, because I've been doing this for a substantial amount of time, that there's a possibility that that may be a private road. So I said to my seller, I said, listen, I'm interested. I'm highly interested if this road is a legal road that will give me legal access. I'm gonna play the phone call for you and you'll hear how we handle ourselves on these calls. Because when we're dealing with a 20-acre property and we're dealing with denominations of $50,000 and things like that, you have to know what you're talking about to get to the finish line, right? So you have to know sometimes more than what they know. And I do. And I'm instructing him on what to do so we can close his deal so I can get him some money. But the more knowledge that I have to provide for you, that drives the price for you on my end. Because if we figure this out, I'm going to go back to him and I'm going to drop the offer price. Because now I have you where I want you. You ran around and you've done all this work that says that I'm highly interested in selling. And I'm highly interested in buying, but the more work that we have to do and the more information that I have to provide, I'm going to drop the price. Not by a lot, but everything counts. It will drop by. Right now, he's on the hook for $53,000. I'm going to drop it to $45,000. That's an extra $8,000 on the deal, and he's going to bite on it. Why? Why is he going to bite? Because he has a buyer right now. I am the buyer. Just a little trick that we do once we have to work deals like that. So let me play this for you. And this is me talking to him about what needs to be done with the property.
Archives, I think, is where the original deed is going to be. Now, I can get a lawyer to look that up, but I didn't know whether you had someone here doing that or whether I needed to do that. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, if you can track down a deed, that would be very helpful. And we can just look for language. And if you do get a lawyer to do it, just make him aware that we're just looking for language on the deed that reads something that says either there's a right of way on the property or an easement.
Exactly, or just a easement, to where they could go. It's not a question as to whether it was a house or anything like that. It's just this fellow's just blocked my access to it.
Correct. And as I said, we're still interested in the deal. It just has to everything has to line up for us to move forward.
Oh, I understand. But I was just going to let you know I kind of hit a semi-dead end there, and I didn't know whether you had a lawyer here you would rather me use where you could talk to him, or whether, I mean, I know most lawyers here are idiots because I've lived here my whole life.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's just paint two hypotheticals. If all goes well, there's an easement on deed. If all goes well, let's paint this narrative. If there is no easement on deed, and if you're going to hire an attorney, just ask him, would this be a quick process for you to go about getting an easement to gain access to your family property? So the moral of the story is no legal access, no deal. And we're very transparent, even when dealing with our sellers. We want to be helpful. We want to be friendly, right? You're looking to do a deal with someone. We want to have a friendly transaction. So we're very helpful. But when I have to know more than you, that's where I have you now. Now I got you where I want you. Because now if you're running around, you're tracking down lawyers to find paperwork that you should have your own deed or know how to or where your deed is. But if you don't, and I have to instruct you on how to get your information, and if you do find it, I'm going to drop the price on you because now I know I have you where I want you at. And I'll still be just as friendly as I was before the deal had got to that point. But trust indeed, we just don't do all of this work, and we're not doing this so we can't make the money. So hopefully, once we track down the deed, what you heard on the phone call, we're looking for language on the deed. Language on the deed will let me know if I have access to the property, legal access, because there's two types of access points. There's physical access, then we have legal access. There's physical access that's already present to the property, meaning that it's a road that runs straight to that property. You can see it as clear as day. You can walk, you can drive up the road, but it's a private road, which means that legally, I just can't access the road. And he's telling me, man, we've been doing this for years. That's called the buddy system. And that's fine, right? And these are rural communities. They play the buddy system. The people that live there, they know the family been living there. They probably went to high school together and things like that. Nobody's busting anybody's balls. Sure, use the road. But you selling it to me as an outside investor, I don't know the people. So legally, they could say you're trespassing. So this is when it get intricate when we're dealing with certain deals and certain properties. We have to make sure things are spelled out correctly, right? And don't push it to title. Title is going to close it for us because title can and will charge you to go and find out the same thing that you should be able to find out on the front end yourself. So this is called the front end work. And I'm looking to make sure before I push the title, because I know what title looks for, not to waste my time or waste their time and spend or occur a bill and don't have a deal, if that makes sense to you. So that's what we worked this week. We worked community, and that's a personal deal. That 20 acre is a personal deal. By the way, comment the word dirt. Anybody want to work with us? Comment the word dirt. Be happy to work with anybody that understands that this is business. Happy to work with anybody that's a hard worker. Happy to work with, whether you have experience or not, we'll be happy to work with someone that understands, going to take some to get some. I'm not looking to extract those that's looking for the free 99. You see what we're doing behind closed doors. You see the conversations that we're having with real sellers in real time. This is real business. I wish that there was a program for those that don't have the funds to do it. I wish there was a program that you can go and just tap into it and make money, but it doesn't exist, is all I'm saying. So I say to those, because I want everybody to win. I say to those, if you don't have the funds to get started, get the funds to get started. Start saving up and save up however long it takes you to save up to get going. That's what I say. That's just how it is. We like if I give you something, if I give you a program for free, if you don't have the money to go and buy land, what did you gain? Some knowledge for sure. But you're going to still need money to, even on a small tax deed scale. She need $800 to pay for it. We don't put up money for tax deed properties. That's your personal deal. when you sell it, you're not giving us any money, right? Correct. So comment dirt. Once you comment dirt, there will be a form that comes to your inbox. Fill out the form. It's a qualifying form. Why are we qualifying people? So we're not wasting our time, right? On that form, I'm very transparent because I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time. On that form, it will ask you questions. On that form, it will ask you, is there a budget in place for what you're stating you're looking to do? On that form, it'll ask you, when are you ready to do it? And based upon the questions that you answer on that form, that'll let us know if you will move to the next step and receive a consultation call. Consultation call is free, but this is why we screen with the forms, just to make sure we're not wasting our time, because time is the most precious thing that we have. And we're looking, as I stated, we're looking to extract those that's ready, right? And for those that's not ready, we do have other products that you can still be active with what we have going on. There's nothing better than knowledge. Some people have taken the knowledge and went on and done some things on their own. I don't care. You know, you can ask me any question. That's why I said on this live, ask whatever question you desire to ask tonight. And if I see it, then I'll answer it. It's just knowledge to me. I'm not here to say, pay me to pick my brain. When I'm offering, sometimes I do say, pay me to pick my brain. But when I'm offering, you should probably take advantage. Let me see. Any questions? We can't find the deed. The properties have been in our family over 100 years. We own land and someone has paid the taxes and bought interest from other family members. Ooh, that's not a good sign. When people start paying your taxes and buying the interest from other family members, what they're doing is they're positioning themselves and waiting for the default. They're waiting for, in certain states, I don't know what state you're in, certain states, if they have something that's called, like, whoever owns the majority interest can start to call the shots. So I would get in front of that. And they're waiting for, the thing is, they can pay your taxes, they still can't take the properties. But there is something that if they take, this gets very intricate. This is law, and each law is different. If they have enough or bought out or convinced enough of the family members to sell their interests, I don't know exactly what the percentage is, but they can start to act as the leading voice for that property at some point. Check it out, though. I would consult the lawyer with that one, because that's very intricate. 450,408 is good. I can't answer that. I never know. Like, who's to say? I can't say what's a good price for any acreage. I've seen 1 acre of land sell for $1 million. I've seen 300 acres sell for 300,000. It just depends on the area, the movement in the area, what the comps is in the area. We never guesstimate this stuff. We just go by the data and what's happening in the area. Can I build in the dirt underground without permits? It all depends what you're building. And it all depends on the location. If you're in the city limits, you're probably going to need permits. If you get caught, then you'll be probably asked to remove it or occur a fine or some sorts like that. So it all depends what you're building. Definitely, if you're in the city limits, you can't, put no structure in it, because why don't they want you to do that or allow you to do that? Because if you build something that's that you can use, they want to tax you. But if you're outside of the city limits, you can do whatever you want to do. A dwelling is what I'm saying. Now, if you're building something like recreational, that's different. All right, I'll take a couple more questions, and then we're going to try and go be on family time. All right. I don't see any questions in here. Comment dirt, though, to get yourself qualified or to receive that qualifying sheet. Once you have that qualifying sheet, fill it out. If you're interested in doing some business with us, that's what it's going to take. Comment the word dirt. You'll get the qualifying sheet and fill it out, and we'll take a look at it, or my team will take a look at it, and we'll take it from there. Y'all enjoy the rest of this evening. That is my rant for tonight. We'll tap back in tomorrow, y'all. Peace. Love.